Shit. It's time to relax. Now, find a place where your body feels safe, warm, and still. Let your head sink gently into the pillow, your shoulders soften down, and your hands come to rest. Just like that. Allow your breath to slow, smooth, steady, and soft. In through the nose, out through the mouth, and again, and out, like a slow breeze through tall grass in the hills. Imagine now that a gentle wind is brushing across your skin. Maybe you hear a distant rustling of leaves, a creaking of old wooden shutters in the wind, a soft owl calling out into a vast countryside night. And soon we'll visit a place where few have wandered, a place of stone and echo, a place where magic doesn't sparkle or shine but hums. Let's go together, are you ready? Our story tonight begins in the misty hills, where time forgets and stones. Remember, Part 1. The echoing hills far to the north, beyond the last stretch of cobbled road, where even the village bells sound like memory. There lies a hill wrapped in moss and mist. No carriages go there, no maps dare mark it. But if you follow the path of the breeze, and you listen closely to the ground, you may hear it. A low hum, soft as a sleeping cat's purr. It comes from the stones, from the castle with singing stones. They say it was built 1,000 years ago, when a duke who loved music more than war asked his stonemasons to shape his castle like a lute-arched chambers and thin, hollow walls that caught the wind. Just so, he brought in stones from faraway hills, those that rang like bells when struck. The same mineral once used in medieval bells and sacred gongs, called phonolite stone that sings. But now, the castle is forgotten, covered in ivy and slumber, except by one soul. Part 2. The caretaker of Echo Hall. Every evening, just as twilight brushes silver across the hills, an old man walks up the overgrown path. He carries no lantern. He doesn't need one. He knows every root and crack in the path. They call him Wern. No one knows where he came from, but the villagers whisper that he's been around as long as the castle. He wears a coat patched with velvet and dust, and his boots make no sound on the soft, mossy earth. On his back is a small satchel inside, a tuning fork, an old iron key, and a folded letter with no name. Each night, Wern unlocks the rusted gate, pushes open the groaning door, and steps into the Hall of Hums. Part 3. The Hall of Hums. Imagine this. Now, you step through that same door. The wood is ancient, but warm beneath your fingers. The air inside is cool, with the scent of rain-soaked stone and lichen. Your footsteps echo across the cracked flagstones. Soft, but there. And then, you hear it. Not a song. Not quite. More like the breath of the building. A long, low vibration, moving along the walls like ripples across a pond. You place your hand on a stone column. It's humming, gently, as if singing to itself. Wern, the old caretaker, smiles softly. He walks with a rhythm, light fingers brushing along the columns, and as he passes, different notes wake from the walls. Some high, some like the sleepy coo of a dove, others like the rumble of thunder, seen from far away. This is no accident. The castle was built with singing in its bones. Part 4. The secret of the sound. Wern leads you to a stairway, spiral, stone, worn down by centuries of soft footsteps. Each step carries a tone, as though the stairs themselves are keys to an ancient instrument. Up, up you climb, until you reach the chamber beneath the western spire, a circular room with a domed ceiling. Here the sound gathers. It swirls. Sit for a moment in the center. Close your eyes. Can you hear it? There's a soft note that seems to circle around you, then another, harmonizing with it, then another, like a thread weaving through them both. This is not wind. It's the castle, Wern explains, in a whisper. The medieval builders once understood how to shape space for sound. That sacred cathedrals and holy sites used acoustic shadows and resonant chambers, so that every chant echoed like the voice of the divine. This castle, though not sacred, was built to remember, to carry voices that would never fade, to hum lullabies for those long gone. Wern claps softly, just once, and the sound spirals up, lifts, bounces off the dome, and then lingers like a warm breeze around your neck. Wern beckons with a gentle tilt of his head, and the two of you move deeper through a passage, the air growing cooler, quieter, like the hush beneath a woolen blanket. The corridor bends, arched stone above, soft moss below, and along the walls, carvings emerge. Tiny inscriptions, so faint they look like whispers caught in stone. Wern pauses. He raises a single finger, points to a name etched into the wall. Isolde, then another, then a row of names, each curved into the wall beside a pale blue stone. These are voices, he says softly, people who once sang, or spoke, or whispered here. He tells you that each carved name was placed beside a songstone, a phonolite, tablet shaped just so, to catch and hold sound. In medieval times, they believed sound could live forever. If you sang into the right stone, people would whisper their hopes into the walls, their goodbyes, their lullabies, believing the castle would remember them. And sometimes, on windless nights like this, those murmurs return, not clearly, not like a conversation, but as a tone, a familiar vibration that settles just behind the ribs, in that place where memory rests. Part 6. The bell tower beneath the stars. Wern gently opens a wooden hatch at the end of the hallway. It leads upward into a narrow stairwell with velvet air, thick with the scent of old pine dust and forgotten parchment. Climb slowly. The steps creak but kindly, as though they remember the shape of your foot before you place it. At the top, the world opens. You've stepped into the castle's bell tower, though there is no bell, just an open circular space, its windows arching out in every direction, framing stars that glisten like frost on black velvet above you. Sky below you, the valley wrapped in blue shadow, and ahead, a small table made of stone, with an iron chime hanging low. Wern kneels beside it. He taps it once, and the sound rings out not loud, but long. It vibrates through the stone, into the wood, and through the bones of the tower. You feel it in your chest. It's soft, like a bell muffled by snow. Wern speaks again, his voice no louder than breath. In the old days, this bell was used not to summon, but to soothe. He tells of how, in certain medieval keeps, bells were not rung in alarm, but to calm the spirits after dark, to guide dreams, to protect sleeping souls from wandering too far. And so now, he rings it once more, tuning. The hum drifts outward, across the stars, toward wherever you rest tonight. You follow Wern back down, through winding stairs and dim-lit halls until you reach a hidden door, tucked behind a curtain of ivy and velvet moss. He opens it, and there you find the sleeping garden. It's small, enclosed, cradled by stone walls, and overgrown with night flowers, white poppies, moonwort, and bluebells that open only under starlight. A little fountain trickles near the edge. Its water flows over smooth stones that chime faintly as it passes. You sit beside it. The air smells of lavender and rain. Wern kneels at the garden's edge and begins to hum a low, slow melody. Nothing with words, just a tone, soft and deep, like the kind that rocks you gently across the sea of sleep. And you begin to understand. This is the heart of the castle, not its tallest tower, not its grand gate, but this quiet place, where stones remember lullabies and water sings without needing to be asked. You breathe it in, the stillness, the hush that only comes when everything you need is already here. Part 8. A story left behind as Wern walks you back through the halls. He tells you, almost dreamily, that the castle isn't meant to be remembered, not by many, just one or two, who still know how to listen. You stop beneath the great arch of the entryway, where one final stone hums at shoulder height. He lifts your hand and places your fingers gently against it. It's warm. It trembles ever so slightly, with a note that feels like peace. This one, he says softly, hasn't been given a name yet. You could leave a whisper in it, if you like. And so you do. You close your eyes. You lean forward, and softly, you leave a part of yourself there. A wish, a song, a memory shaped like a feather. And as you do, the stone sings just a little louder. Not for others, just for you. You begin the quiet journey back through the castle's winding passages. Each footstep softer than the last. The light has changed. It is no longer the blue of twilight, nor the silver of full moon. It is something softer, warmer, as though the walls themselves emit a faint golden glow from centuries of quiet memories. One walks a little behind you now, his hands clasped gently behind his back. He does not speak. He doesn't need to. The castle hums in your bones. Each corridor you pass feels slower, as if time has lost interest in ticking forward. Your hand trails along a wall. Just one more stone to touch. And it hums, just faintly, in reply. Outside, the wind has settled. The leaves no longer rustle. Even the owls are quiet. And in that perfect silence, you come to the threshold once more. Part 10. The forgotten gate, the great gate, stands open. It no longer groans or resists. It simply waits. You step out into the night. The air is soft as silk now, carrying the scent of time, rain, and crumbled stone. One remains behind you, a silhouette in the entryway, his head tilted just slightly, like he's listening to a note only he can hear. He raises a hand, a quiet farewell, then turns and walks back into the castle, his footsteps fading like a slow drumbeat until they are no more. The gate begins to close on its own. Not quickly, not to trap you, but like a yawn before sleep. Slow, wide, and certain, and as it shuts with a final hush, you feel a whisper settle gently on your shoulder. The castle has remembered you, and that, it seems, is enough. Now, imagine yourself walking slowly back down the winding path. The same one you came up hours before, only now, it feels different. The air is warmer. The wind is calmer. The moonlight glows like melted pearl on the stones. You walk barefoot. The moss beneath your feet is soft and cool, like velvet soaked in dew. Each breath you take carries you deeper into comfort, deeper into slowness, deeper into sleep. Ahead of you, the hills roll gently like waves, their curves covered in silver grass and swaying night flowers. You can almost hear them sigh as you pass. Part 12. A dream left behind. You reach the low stone wall at the base of the hill, the one where your journey began. You turn for a moment, just to look once more. But there is no castle. Not anymore. Only mist and hill and starlight. But something inside you hums, softly, steadily, as though a tiny stone now lives in your chest, forever singing the lullaby of the place you visited tonight. You place your hand over your heart, and for a moment, it feels like you could stay here forever. Not just in the dream, but in the feeling of being remembered, of being welcomed, of being gently sung to, without anyone asking for anything in return. Outro drift away now. Let your body go heavy. Let the last of the words fade behind your closed eyelids. Let the castle hum fade into your breath. In and out. Soft and still, like the wind passing through sleeping trees. There is no more story to tell. Only the echo of one that will keep you company until morning finds you. The singing stones will remember, and so, in their hum, you are safe. You are home. You are asleep. Good night.